We didn't care about anything. Like, you think like, well, we can't do this because you're little, or we can't do that because, you're smart, you look young.
Is true beauty found in flawless perfection or in the fearless courage to rise and shine despite life's challenges? Welcome back. Today's journey goes far beyond what meets the eye. We're stepping into a world where science, humanity, and resilience intertwine to reveal the extraordinary. From individuals whose expressions remain still yet carry powerful inner strength, to those with remarkable physical traits paired with unshakable spirit, each story invites us to rethink what it truly means to be beautiful. But this isn't just about observation, it's about discovery. Through these real-life accounts, we uncover how uniqueness can become a source of strength and how adversity can shape unbreakable character. These living wonders remind us that diversity is not a flaw, but a force that drives empathy and inspiration. If these stories spark your curiosity, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts, because sometimes the most powerful transformations begin with a simple shift in perspective. In an age often shaped by golden ratio ideals and standardized definitions of beauty, Michele Ruffinelli stands as a striking reminder that human diversity cannot be confined to formulas. With a body that surpasses typical physical expectations, she is not just visually distinctive. Her story also invites deeper curiosity about how genetics and the body's natural processes can create extraordinary variations. Rather than defying laws, her uniqueness highlights how much there is still to learn about the human body and its remarkable capacity to adapt. But beyond the science lies a more meaningful question: how do we define value and beauty in a world so focused on conformity? Her journey encourages us to look past numbers and appearances and to consider the importance of respect, understanding, and acceptance. This is not a tale meant to shock, but one that challenges assumptions and broadens perspective. Perhaps true perfection is not about fitting in, but about embracing the full spectrum of what it means to be human. Rather than retreating behind labels or limitations, Michele chose to step forward with confidence, turning what once set her apart into a source of identity and empowerment. Her presence challenges conventional ideas of beauty, showing that self-worth is not defined by narrow standards but by the courage to embrace one's individuality. Each step she takes becomes a quiet declaration that authenticity holds far greater value than conformity, and that confidence can reshape how the world sees difference. Living in a world not always designed for diverse bodies, she continues to adapt with resilience and dignity, transforming everyday challenges into opportunities for growth. Her story reminds us that true freedom begins with self-acceptance, the ability to honor who you are without apology. In doing so, she offers a powerful lesson that beauty is not something to fit into, but something to define for yourself, and that a strong spirit can inspire change far beyond appearances. Is beauty truly dictated by bone structure, or by the energy a person brings into the world? In an industry often guided by rigid ideals, her presence feels like a powerful shift, challenging long-held assumptions and opening the door to a broader definition of beauty. Living with Treacher-Collins syndrome, she chose not to retreat from the spotlight, but to step into it with confidence, transforming what others might see as limitation into a source of strength and identity. Her journey is more than a story of appearance, it is a statement about self-expression and freedom. By embracing who she is, she proves that charisma, confidence, and authenticity can transcend any physical standard. This is not just about fashion, it is about redefining what it means to be seen, valued, and celebrated. A kind of beauty that doesn't depend on perfection, but on the courage to exist boldly. Are you ready to listen when true beauty speaks in its own voice? Does a life need to follow nature's perfect design to be considered extraordinary? In 2015, the world witnessed the arrival of Eli, often called a miracle baby, whose condition challenged conventional expectations of the human body. His story was not just a medical case, but a profound reminder of how fragile yet remarkable life can be. Rather than focusing on what was missing, his journey invited people to recognize the deeper value of existence itself, one that cannot be measured by physical form alone. More than anything, Eli's presence became a lens through which compassion, empathy, and humanity were brought into sharper focus. His life encouraged those around him to reflect on what truly matters: connection, care, and the quiet strength found in simply being alive. In this way, his story transcends biology, offering a timeless message: every life, no matter how different, carries meaning and deserves to be honored with dignity and understanding. Though his journey lasted only 2 years, it was not a story defined by loss, but by the profound impact it created across the world. Eli became a symbol of connection, bringing together people from different cultures and backgrounds through a shared sense of compassion. His story helped raise awareness about rare conditions, encouraging understanding and support for individuals and families who are often overlooked. In this way, his presence sparked a quiet but meaningful shift in how people perceive difference and vulnerability. Even after his passing, the influence he left behind continues to resonate. His life reminds us that meaning is not measured by time, but by the connections we build and the empathy we inspire in others. Through the awareness he brought and the hearts he touched, Eli's legacy lives on as a powerful message. While a life may be brief, the positive impact it creates can endure far beyond its years. Imagine living in a world where everyday spaces were never designed with you in mind, where doors feel smaller, furniture doesn't quite fit, and even something as simple as finding shoes becomes a constant challenge. That is the reality faced by Brahim Taqiullah, a man known for having the largest feet ever recorded. His condition is not just an unusual statistic, but the result of acromegaly, a rare medical disorder in which the body produces excess growth hormone, leading to remarkable physical changes over time. Yet beyond the science lies a deeper story about adaptation and resilience. Living with such a condition requires not only physical adjustments, but also mental strength to navigate a world built for different norms. His experience invites us to better understand how the human body can vary in extraordinary ways, while also reminding us of the importance of inclusive design and empathy, because sometimes the greatest challenges are not the differences themselves, but the environments that fail to accommodate them. Standing at over 8 feet tall, Brahim Taqiullah navigates a world where even the simplest things require extraordinary adjustments. From specially crafted shoes to everyday spaces that rarely accommodate his size, each step is a reminder of the challenges that come with his condition. Yet rather than letting these obstacles define him, Brahim has transformed his uniqueness into a platform traveling the world, sharing his story and inspiring others with his determination. His journey sends a powerful message. Difference is not a limitation, but a perspective that can inspire change. Through resilience and confidence, he proves that there is always space in the world for those who choose to move forward on their own terms. If his story made you think differently about strength and perseverance, share your thoughts below and stay tuned for more remarkable journeys that challenge the way we see human potential. Kim Goodman is widely known for her rare ability to perform voluntary proptosis, extending her eyes beyond their usual position to an unusual degree. What makes her case especially fascinating is that, unlike conditions linked to illness, her ability is something she can control. Discovered after an earlier incident, it highlights how certain individuals can develop unexpected control over specific muscle groups and body responses. Her case has drawn attention not just for its visual uniqueness, but for what it suggests about the flexibility and adaptability of the human body. Beyond the curiosity it sparks, her story opens a broader conversation about how much we still have to learn about human physiology. Rather than viewing her difference with fear or misunderstanding, Kim has chosen to present it as an example of the body's surprising capabilities. In doing so, she encourages a more thoughtful perspective, one that replaces judgment with curiosity and sees unusual traits not as something to hide, but as opportunities to better understand the complexity of human biology. Maxwell Day's ability to rotate his feet far beyond typical limits may seem almost unreal, but it reflects a rare condition related to hypermobility where connective tissues such as ligaments and collagen are more flexible than usual. Rather than breaking the rules of the body, His case helps illustrate just how wide the spectrum of human anatomy can be. For researchers, this kind of variation offers valuable insight into how joints, tissues, and genetic factors interact to create both stability and flexibility within the body. Beyond the science, Maxwell's story carries a broader message about identity and acceptance. Instead of seeing his difference as a limitation, he embraces it as part of who he is, showing that individuality does not need to conform to conventional standards. His journey encourages a more open-minded perspective, one that recognizes diversity not as something unusual to fear, but as a natural and meaningful expression of how complex and adaptable the human body truly is. In a world where skin color is often used to define identity, Sean Ross stands as a powerful reminder that human diversity goes far beyond simple labels. Born with albinism, a genetic condition that affects the body's production of pigment, his appearance challenges conventional expectations while highlighting the natural complexity of biology. Rather than being a paradox, his story reflects how genetics can create striking variations that expand our understanding of what it means to be human. Beyond science, his journey carries a deeper cultural and social message. Sean has transformed what once made him feel different into a defining strength, using his presence in fashion and media to challenge stereotypes and promote inclusivity. His story invites us to rethink assumptions about race, identity, and beauty, showing that true individuality is not something to categorize, but something to recognize and respect. Stepping into the demanding world of high fashion, Sean Ross did not aim to blend in. He chose to redefine the lens through which beauty is seen. With striking features shaped by his heritage and the luminous appearance created by albinism, his presence challenges long-standing aesthetic norms. Rather than conforming, he transforms the runway into a platform for dialogue, where individuality becomes the centerpiece and difference becomes power. His work in fashion and visual arts goes beyond appearance. It is a statement about representation and identity. By embracing what makes him unique, Sean invites the world to reconsider its assumptions and expand its definition of beauty. His journey raises a compelling question. Is beauty found in uniform perfection, or in the bold expression of diversity and authenticity that pushes culture forward? Sean Ross's journey is a powerful story of transformation from feeling set apart by his differences to becoming a global voice for confidence and self-acceptance. Rather than allowing society's narrow definitions to limit him, he embraced his uniqueness and turned it into a source of strength. His path shows that when life presents something unconventional, it can also open the door to creativity, identity, and purpose. More than a personal success, his impact reaches into culture itself. By stepping into spaces that once lacked representation, he helped expand the conversation around beauty and individuality. His story reminds us that what may seem like an absence or deviation from the norm can instead be a space for self-expression and growth. In that space, courage becomes the defining force, and through it, each person has the power to shape a version of themselves that is truly original. Taco Fall stands as a remarkable example of how human variation can expand the limits of what we consider possible. With his extraordinary height and wingspan, he brings a unique presence to the basketball court, one that naturally influences the flow of the game. Rather than being a glitch, his physical traits reflect the wide spectrum of human biology, where differences can become powerful advantages when guided by discipline and skill. Beyond the numbers, his journey carries a deeper message about self-acceptance and growth. Taco Fall has shown that embracing what makes you different can open doors to opportunities that others may never experience. Through dedication and perseverance, he transforms his natural attributes into purposeful action, reminding us that success is not about fitting into a standard but about recognizing and developing the strengths that make each individual unique. Abiodun Adegoke has drawn global attention with his extraordinary height, placing him among the tallest athletes in modern basketball. His physical structure, particularly his long limbs and elevated center of gravity, offers a fascinating example of how the human body can develop in rare and remarkable ways. For scientists and sports professionals alike, his case provides insight into bone growth, balance, and the way the body adapts to maintain coordination at such scale. On the court, his presence naturally changes the dynamics of play, allowing him to perform movements that seem almost effortless due to his reach. Yet beyond the physical advantage, his journey highlights the importance of training, control, and adaptability when working with a unique body. Rather than being defined solely by his height, he represents how individuality, when supported by discipline and understanding, can open new possibilities and inspire a broader perspective on human potential. Ava Clarke is often recognized not only for her striking appearance but also for how her story highlights the fascinating complexity of human genetics. Born with albinism, a condition that affects the body's production of melanin, she has light skin, blonde hair, and bright blue eyes, features that can appear unexpected based on her family background. Rather than overturning rules, her case simply reflects how diverse and intricate genetic expression can be. Beyond the science, Ava's presence carries an important message about identity and representation. Through her work in modeling and media, she helps broaden perspectives on beauty and encourages greater understanding of conditions like albinism. Her story reminds us that differences in appearance are not anomalies to question, but opportunities to learn, appreciate diversity, and promote a more inclusive view of the world. Ava Clarke's story offers a fascinating glimpse into how genetics can shape appearance in unexpected ways. The interaction of inherited genes can lead to rare and striking features, turning her look into a living example of biological diversity. Rather than something unusual to question, her appearance becomes an opportunity to better understand how complex and creative nature can be in expressing human traits. Beyond science, her journey carries a meaningful cultural impact. By appearing in major fashion platforms and media, Ava helps expand the definition of beauty and representation. Her story shows that what makes someone different can also make them inspiring, encouraging a world where individuality is recognized, respected, and celebrated as a natural part of human diversity. Elaine Davidson is known for holding records that immediately spark curiosity, but her story goes far beyond numbers. With thousands of piercings across her body, she represents an unusual yet compelling example of how the human body can adapt over time. From a scientific perspective, her journey highlights the skin's ability to heal and the body's capacity to tolerate repeated external modifications when managed carefully. Beyond physiology, her choice reflects a form of personal expression and identity. Rather than viewing her body as something fixed, she has used it as a canvas to explore individuality and self-definition. Her story invites a broader conversation not about limits alone, but about how people choose to express freedom, challenge norms, and redefine what it means to feel comfortable in one's own body. Elaine Davidson has transformed her body into more than a record. It becomes a personal narrative shaped by choice, resilience, and identity. Each adornment reflects a deliberate decision, turning her appearance into a form of storytelling rather than mere decoration. Through this, she challenges conventional ideas of beauty, showing that self-expression can take many forms beyond traditional expectations. Her journey carries a broader educational message about autonomy and perspective. Instead of conforming to predefined standards, she demonstrates how individuals can define their own sense of comfort and meaning. In doing so, her story encourages a more open-minded view of human diversity, one where respect replaces judgment and where personal expression is recognized as a valid and powerful reflection of individuality. Kathy Young is often cited as one of the most striking examples of how the human body can gradually adapt to long-term habits. With a remarkably small waist achieved through decades of tight lacing, her appearance reflects the effects of consistent external shaping rather than sudden transformation. From a scientific perspective, her case highlights the body's ability to adjust over time when exposed to sustained pressure, particularly in soft tissues and posture. At the same time, her story opens up important conversations about body image, personal choice, and awareness. While it demonstrates adaptability, it also reminds us that every body responds differently, and long-term physical practices should be approached with care and understanding. Beyond the numbers, her journey becomes less about extremes and more about how individuals choose to express identity, inviting us to reflect on balance, well-being, and the diverse ways people define beauty for themselves. Kathy Young's journey reflects how gradual, long-term habits can influence the human body in noticeable ways. Through years of consistent corset use, her form has adapted over time, illustrating the body's capacity to adjust to sustained external shaping. Rather than a sudden change, it is this slow and controlled process that has allowed her to maintain daily function while developing such a distinctive silhouette. Beyond the physical transformation, her story invites a deeper reflection on personal expression and boundaries. What begins as an aesthetic pursuit can evolve into a disciplined lifestyle, shaped by dedication and intention. At its core, her experience raises an important question: where do we draw the line between artistic self-expression and biological change? In exploring that boundary, we are encouraged to think more critically about individuality, balance, and the many ways people choose to define beauty on their own terms.